Hey everybody, AC here, and welcome back to another episode of What Will I Be Watching? This time we are talking about the Fall 2021 lineup and what I watched during that time. So, first off, we have Mushoku Tensei Season 2, which is the second half of the childhood saga. For Mushoku Tensei, in Japan, it was it was advertised. It was advertised as seasons 1 and 2. But when it came time for America to start distributing it, they distributed it as one long season. When in Japan they were both advertised as two separate seasons. Both seasons were part of the first saga, the childhood saga. And then there comes the second saga, which is the teenage saga. But when it began getting distributed, they decided to call it season 2, even though it's technically seasons 3 and 4, which are the teenage saga. So, I'm going by how it was advertised in Japan when it was coming out. That's what I'm going by. So it is technically season 2. And then there's also season 2, and this was 100% advertised as being season 2 part 1 of Demon Slayer, which is the Mugen Train arc. The 7 episodes of the Mugen Train arc, which was straight up advertised as being the first half of season 2. In Japan, it was advertised as that. Whereas, like, every single arc in the series, when it came to America, has been advertised as its own season. So, we're at like 5 seasons. We're at like 5 seasons so far, according to America, according to the way it's distributed here in America. We're at like 5 seasons of Demon Slayer, when really, no, we've only had 3. So, Mushoku Tensei Season 2, that's a must-watch. Demon Slayer the Mugen Train arc, the first half of Season 2, that is a must-watch. And then next up is World's Finest Assassin. This is a recommend. This is a highly recommend one. I absolutely adore this series. I think it is a fantastic series. It is an isekai, but it's an isekai where the character getting isekai'd was already a badass before he ever got reincarnated. He was already the greatest assassin in his entire world before he got reincarnated. And they couldn't kill him. They tried having him killed a few different ways, and it wasn't working. He couldn't they couldn't seem to kill him. And so the organization he worked for basically had to resort to bombing an entire plane with a bunch of innocent people just to kill him. They resorted to bombing an entire plane of so many innocent people, like women, children, tourists, like just a bunch of innocent people on this plane, and kills every single one of them just to get rid of him. So that's nuts. That's nuts. That is insane. That they go that extra mile just to get rid of him. And here's the thing. Here's the funniest thing is that he was throughout the last few missions of his life, he was trying to train other people to be as effective at assassination is him. The person he was working with in the first episode, like, she supposedly graduated top of her class. She supposedly graduated top of her class, in the organization where they train new assassins, and yet she was making rookie mistakes. And he was thinking, "Oh God, if this is what top of the class gets you, then the organization is doomed." And so he basically decided to tell his superiors, like, "Hey, I want to train the next generation. I will still be working for the organization. I just want to train the next generation of assassins. I will take over and teach them everything they need to know. That way, you guys can have 100 of me, in just a few years. In just a few years, you guys can have 100 of me. Highly skilled assassins. You'll be able to get so many more missions done flawlessly." And they still decided to just eliminate him instead of just letting him teach. And so, yeah, honestly, a part of me kind of wanted to see, what does our world look like now that not only is he gone, but all the people he could have taught are significantly worse than the person he was already trying to teach in the first episode. They are significantly worse than her, and she was already making new mistakes. So, like, I would love to see just a few brief minutes of them going back to of just seeing what happened in our world after that. Did the whole organization fall apart without him? Because, like, that's basically like them shooting themselves in the chest, and they're just they basically just shot themselves in the chest at that point. So I would love that. That'd be amazing just to see. But that's not what the whole series is about. He actually does get, he gets reincarnated, and his whole purpose is to kill the hero. Because apparently, after the hero defeats the Demon King, just a few years later, the hero is going to become corrupted. The hero is going to become corrupted and basically bring about the end of the world. And so, now we don't know exactly why. Like, we don't know if, like, the hero themselves is actually causing the end of the world, or if something he does ends up being the catalyst for it, and that just spirals out of control. But regardless, like, he has to eliminate the hero. So, it's very interesting. It is a very interesting series. Let's see. Next is My Senpai is Annoying. My Senpai is Annoying. It's a cute series. I like a lot of the side characters. There's a couple co-workers it's a rom-com. There's a couple co-workers who have a romance going as kind of a side story to the main story. And they're a very cute couple. Honestly, I could watch a whole season of just those two. Because they are very cute together. And then you've got the childhood friend of the main female lead, and she's a tan tomboy. She is a tan super strong tomboy, muscular tan tomboy. Yes. Woo. I love tomboys. Oh, she's definitely the best character in the series. Woo. And yeah, every single character in the series is legal age. They're all in their, like, 20s, they're all in, like, their mid-20s to early 30s. So it's like, it's so refreshing. It's so nice. It's so nice to see rom-coms about people that are adults, you know? And like I love rom-coms, so like I love Nagatoro and Tomo. I love Nagatoro and Tomo and My Dress Up Darling. Absolutely adore all those. Um, but it is nice to get animes like this and Uzaki-chan, and a couple others that we'll get to later on in this whole playlist. Um, but it's nice. It's nice to get ones like this. Next is uh, next up is Banished from the Hero's Party. I decided to live a quiet life in the countryside. Now, to be honest, this one is not that interesting, except for one aspect. There's one aspect of this one that is actually very interesting, and that's the hero. The hero is the most interesting character in this series. Um, and I dare not spoil exactly why, because the main character is the older brother of the hero, and they have a very interesting dynamic, and the hero is such a tragic character in this. She is such a tragic character, and I am not gonna go into it, but the world building in this is not too bad. I've seen better, but I've seen worse. So it's kind of middle of the road, for world building, but the way the power system in this works is very interesting. It is very interesting, very intriguing. Um, so, and yeah, the hero is like just one of the most interesting characters I've seen in a while. Like she is so fascinating. So, definitely a recommend. Oh yeah, My Senpai is Annoying. That's also a recommend. Um, then there's The Faraway Paladin. Oh my god, I love this anime so much. I love The Faraway Paladin. Like legitimately, like this is also like in my like top 20 favorite isekais. Um, this is the first season. It only got 2 seasons. Because the light novel that it was based on went on hiatus after the fifth volume. Um, and the first season covered the first 2 volumes, and the second season covered volumes 3 and 4. And volume 5 of the light novel um, was basically just a handful of different side quests. Um, it was basically a handful of different side quests involving various characters, not so much focusing on the main character. So I understand why they didn't want to, adapt that part, since it wasn't really about the main character. But the 2 seasons we got were absolutely fantastic, and it's such a shame that the light novel has been on hiatus for several years, because I would love to see more of this. I think the world building in this is fantastic, and I wish it had continued. Um, but this was a great first season. Um, so must watch. Restaurant to another. Oh yeah, Restaurant to Another World season 2. Forgot that was a sequel that came out in this. Um, it was good. It was about as good as season. It was about as good as season 1. Um, so yeah, I mean, I would say, well, it's not for everyone. I do acknowledge that it is not for everyone. It is incredibly slow anime where not a whole lot actually happens. What happens is mostly just people walking into this restaurant, and you get to talk. You get to hear them talk, and you get to hear the people working in the restaurant talk to them and hear their story. It is not for everyone. It is a very unique. It is a very unique take on the isekai genre that is not for everyone. So I would say cautiously recommend, because if you don't like the first episode of the first season, you're probably not going to like the rest of the series, because it's basically all the same thing. Just about every single episode is basically the same pattern, the same format pattern. So if you don't like the first episode, you're probably not going to like the rest of the series. So I would say cautiously recommend. Kagenado. This was basically like a different version of Isekai Quartet, but it's from all of the what's the lit Liden films. It's basically all the different animes from Linden Films kind of put together, Clannad and Canon and so on and so forth. There's a few of them here. I am only familiar with Canon and Clannad. I was not familiar with. There's like two other animes that are in here that I was not familiar with. But it was cute. It was a very cute. It was a very cute series, and they did get all of the same voice cast back. The Japanese voice cast, all of them came back to reprise their roles, and so it was really neat it was really amazing to get to hear Tomoya's Japanese voice actor and Nagisa's Japanese voice actress and all that. I get to hear all of them again. That was so great. So for pure nostalgia, I would recommend it. If you watched a lot of animes from that studio, then I would say that this is definitely a recommend. Let's see. I don't think I ever actually said whether or not I recommend or not the Senpai's Annoying and Banished from a Hero's Party. I don't think I did. So Senpai's Annoying, recommend. Banished from the Hero's Party. You know what? Yes, I would say recommend. I was gonna say cautiously recommend because most of the story is not that great outside of the hero's story, but the hero story is so fascinating and so interesting that I have to say recommend, just for that. So next is The Fruit of Evolution. The Fruit of Evolution. Burn it. Burn it. Burn it. Like, I went into that expecting garbage. Like, I knew it was gonna be garbage because I saw the trailer for it. Dude, fat dude gets isekai'd, eats powerful fruits of evolution, and he evolves from being a fat guy to being a slim, attractive, muscular guy, slim, attractive, and somewhat muscular guy, and then he ends up fighting a pink gorilla, beats her, and then marries her. And then after kissing her, the gorilla becomes a girl. And then they go off and meet a bunch of pervert adventurers. And I wish I was exaggerating about that. No, they are 100% pervert adventurers. Every single adventurer in this series has some kind of really weird perversion. It is very weird. Every character in this is just absolutely insane. Like, the only character in this whole series that is not absolutely bonkers is, ironically, like, the first, is, like, ironically, the first one is actually, like, the first one they meet. Is, it's this tan girl, I can't even remember her name, It's this tan girl, and she has a curse, about her, where like, if the closer she gets with someone, the more bad luck happens to them. And he cures her of that curse. He manages to cure her of that curse, and she falls in love with him, and she's basically the straight man in the series, where she calls out all of the crazy stuff that's happening and all the weird people that they keep meeting. She's the one who keeps calling all that stuff out. And it's just so dumb. It is just so incredibly dumb. Like, that girl is the only redeeming character in the whole series, to be honest. Like, every other character is just either annoying, boring, or just so obnoxiously stupid. Like, it is one of those three, or even a mixture of all of them. It's just annoying or dumb, or both. Annoying, dumb, both. Like, those are your options. Like, that's it. It's just... Ugh. I don't like it. And it only gets worse. It only gets worse. There's a season 2. And I watched that. We'll get to that. But this... No. No, you know what? No. I'm going to put this in don't recommend. Because at the very least, you do have one redeeming quality. You have one redeeming character in this. And she gets relegated to the background in season 2. And all the stupidity and annoying stuff gets brought to the forefront in the second season. So I'm going to say don't recommend. I'm going to say I don't recommend this one. Because I know season 2 is worse. And then, lastly, Komi Can't Communicate. The first season of Komi Can't Communicate. I mean, it's one of the most... It finished. The manga is finished. The manga recently finished, and it's fantastic. It's a fantastic story. I love Komi. She's adorable. Her little anytime she gets the little cat ears, anytime we see like Neko Komi is just so cute. I love it. And it's a cute, wholesome story about wanting to make friends and wanting to overcome your own weaknesses, in order to achieve a goal. And I find myself just rooting for her the whole time. And her and Tadano are just such a cute couple. They are so cute together. And I just find myself rooting for them every step of the way. So, I own pretty much every single current volume of the series. So, yeah, that should give you an idea of how much I enjoyed this series. So, yeah, that's a must-watch. Anyway, so that's it for this video. Next time, we will be talking about Winter 2022. So, that's going to do it for this video. So, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good jazz. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone.